My name is Linda, and my life has been dealing not only with my own suicidal depression, but dealing with the depression of my oldest son, who successfully died by suicide last Christmas morning. Michael was the most brilliant kid. His IQ was 180 only because that was the top of the scale. And he went to Berkeley, and his senior year of college, I got a phone call from him, and he said, "Mom, I just had to call the suicide hotline." And having dealt with my own suicidal ideation, this was probably 10 years before, my heart just dropped to the bottom. I said, "What, is this new?" And he goes, "No, I've been thinking about jumping off the top of the building at my college." And so I told him what medication worked for me, since it had taken so long to find one that actually worked for me. And so they prescribed that medication. He stayed on that medication for a year, as far as we can tell. But I don't think he went back. I think after a year he was feeling okay, so he stopped the medication. At 1:12 on Christmas morning, a.m., he emailed from the top of the bridge. He texted all of his family members that he loved us. And my daughter and one of my sons happened to be awake and immediately texted him back, say, "We love you too." And we know he got those because he, at 1:15, updated his Facebook status to say, "It's been a long time coming, don't blame yourself." He had obviously already scoped out the largest, tallest bridge in San Diego, which was 10 stories high. So at 1:15, he put his Jesus phone, his iPhone, in his car on the top of the bridge, and he was wearing his Santa Claus hat, and he did a swan dive off the bridge and landed on the freeway below. Most of the time, the body's not viewable, but we were fortunate. His arm took the brunt of it, so he was viewable. He broke some teeth, and as soon as coroner said he broke some teeth, I was, "Oh my gosh, his teeth that we put braces on it." Like, oh wait, I guess it doesn't matter. But we were able to go in and see him, and we each went in and said our goodbyes, but he was so cold, and just seeing him there and the promise that was there. I mean, this is a kid, he was so bright, he had so much to give. He was going to move to Africa this month and go work for a nonprofit organization. He had so much to look forward to, and that's all gone. I went to some suicide support groups, and one of the things that they told me, which makes absolute sense now that you think about it, is you don't say that someone commits suicide, because that implies it's a conscious act, that they're doing it because they want to do it. You say someone dies by suicide because they have an illness. If you have cancer, the tumor kills you. If you have some other illness, that kills you. Depression is what killed him. He did not kill himself. I know everyone grieves in their own way. My personal way of grieving is getting involved with a lot of different organizations and reaching out to people who are in crisis and talking them through it, and fundraising. And my number one thing is to try to get rid of the stigma, because you might find a cure, you might find a new medication, but if somebody doesn't ignore the stigma, they're not going to reach out for it. So my most important lesson is to teach people and to be willing to talk about this, so that people know they should either reach out, or that they can recognize and know that they should reach out to someone else. You should never have to bury your child.